Good afternoon, everyone. Last time we were talking about Landcruisers, at least I was talking about Landcruisers, we are at the Heritage Museum in Salt Lake City. Guess where we are now? We're gonna drive it. Not only do I get to drive the Landcruiser, but I get to do it with Kurt. Kurt, what's Kurt's first name? Cruiser Kurt. You all know him as
my
Cruiser
birth
Kurt.
name is Cruiser Kurt.
So just quick story, my FJ40, which I've had for like 20 years, the first project I ever did on it was replacing the knuckles, all the seals, basically. I got leaky seals on both my knuckles. I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do because I'm a first-time FJ40 owner. And I looked up Cruiser Outfitters, and there's this really old web page, but it was like 20 years ago.
That was a lot of years ago.
It had a phone number on it, and I called that phone number, and he answered the phone. And he helped me learn how to replace my steering knuckles, all the seals, and said, here's what you need to do, Ryan. This is what it will look like. So anyway, I have a long history with Kurt.
Yeah.
You remember that phone call?
I'm gonna say yes.
It was memorable for him.
Sold a few knuckle rebuild kits over the years, but yeah, I totally remember Ryan calling.
So anyway, it is a privilege for me to be able to drive a new Landcruiser with Kurt as my co-driver. So we're gonna play here on this course. It's a cute little playground course, and get to poke the buttons, get to feel how the Landcruiser drives, get to see what's new about a 250.
Yeah. A lot of cool things. First time driving one, right?
First time.
All right, I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I am too. It'll be fun. So join us. We're gonna hop in and drive around. All right, Kurt, my friend, you've done this in a truck much like this, right? I think I saw a video of that.
Very similar, yeah. I've been fortunate to spend a lot of time in the new Cruiser. So I'm excited for you to get to check it out.
I am very thrilled.
You get a lot of similarities to the Tacoma.
Yeah.
Big difference. One big note, you're not going to find too high in this model. This is a full-time four-wheel drive. You're familiar with that on previous Landcruisers.
drive.
So versus having
four
high, or high four,
Yep.
we're going to start in high four, and then you do have a center locking diff
Great.
for kind of 50-50 bias traction out of the center diff.
Your classic order of operations getting stuck is a little different in this than in the 4Runner.
Correct, yep. You're already in four-wheel drive, and it's a true full-time four-wheel drive, so there's no like biasing happening. I mean, there is a center differential, so there is some change happening. It's not like there's a limited slip or any change there.
Sure, gotcha. Looks like fun. I think let's drive a little and then we'll discover things as we go, right?
See how it feels.
A fun little wiggly course. This is our first time coming around this, so.
We've built a nice setup here. Lots of little terrain and some good climbs.
Should do it slow. See what traction control does, right?
Yeah.
High four, doing nothing but gentle presses on the gas.
See if it powers out or if it'll let you have it.
See what it does. Oh,
That's kind of
just
hanging in
me
there.
at idle, right? All right, we'll give it a little more juice.
Little tip in and it'll climb.
Oh yeah, that was...
Didn't take much.
No. Yeah, so yeah, it's just smart. And that hill was tight enough, you know, we didn't need any sort of loose traction control, apparently. Oh yeah, the hybrid is so punchier.
It kicks in,
oh
doesn't
my
it?
goodness, I don't have to like, I'm used to like, all right, I'm gonna give you throttle. It's like remind the truck that you're gonna give it some throttle. And it actually just is like, oh, you want me to go? Okay, I'll go.
You don't have to pre-plan as much.
I know.
That throttle engagement is pretty instantaneous when it picks up.
Different. Oh goodness. I think that's why all the V6 guys are gonna be like, oh, okay, I get it. I see why hybrid is a fun thing.
Yeah, and the 4.0 has been an amazing engine in all those years, right? I mean, like a lot of years in the 4th and 5th gen 4Runner. It also had its life in the FJ Cruiser and the Tacoma.
Right.
We get that it's an amazing motor,
right?
But this setup is pretty dang cool.
It's just going to be so much more drivable in that sense. Some people complain with the modern truck how easy it is. It's like, oh, it's just so easy. It removes all the skill. And yes, but you're getting features that are valuable.
And here's the beauty. So we've got this screen, tells you your steering angle, how much you're on the brake, how much you're on the gas, all your tips. We can always turn that off and just look out the windows and drive like we always have.
Exactly.
You're not required to have all those little conveniences. They just happen to be there if you need them. And I would say the same for the exterior cameras, which that camera system is really cool, particularly if you're solo and don't have a spotter, kind of know where you're at. You know, it's always great to get somebody out on foot doing some actual spotting, but in absence of that, you got a camera system if you need it. You don't have to use it.
So in that case, does this have cameras at all the corners like a Trail Hunter?
Let's flip them on. Yeah, let's put them on. So why don't you go into let's put it in low and play around low while we're here too. May as well, right?
Oh, low four turns on all my cameras too.
Gauges your camera system.
Yep, and I probably have that blinker, not that one. There you go. So low 4.
Low 4, we're there. Open diff, we know we're still open front and rear.
We got the number 4 and the LO down on the dash here. Okay, so now I'm in low 4. Does it, when I put in low 4, do you know if it locks the center differential automatically?
You need to manually, so let's watch that happen.
Now we're just in low all-time 4-wheel drive with the center diff lock.
With the center lock, exactly. True 4-wheel drive.
Right. All right, I want to do the slow climb up this hill again, because now I'm in low 4 with the center diff lock. I mean, this will be cake, but I just like seeing this thing do its own work. What is the classic phrase? As slow as necessary, as fast as possible? No.
As slow as possible, as fast as necessary.
Slow as possible,
yeah.
As fast as necessary. And that's when traction is the thing, right? All I need is traction to move up. I don't need momentum. So we've got our camera modes in 4-low. We haven't got to play with the multi-terrain select buttons much yet. So let's try that. That's this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I see it, I think, on my dash, but I think if I hit this, you get to see it too.
You'll see it pull up on the big screen.
Okay, so low 4 auto, and then I think if I'm in terrain select on this one, if I turn this dial.
There we go.
Here we go. Sand mode, mud mode, rock mode, and that's that one. So rock, oh I know, look, we got a hill coming with a little cross axle. Maybe we play with the descent control.
Fun.
Or I could crawl control up this hill.
Or crawl control now.
Let's crawl control up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the DAC button. Sweet. So it took over. My feet are off the pedals. I'm in 4-low. Crawl control is on, and I'm on a low speed. So I dial up to go faster. Fun. So smart.
Fun to watch.
So in crawl control, it'll maintain that in a downhill speed, right?
Correct.
So if I keep feet off pedals, I won't go any faster. This still spooks me out. I'm an old truck guy, not a new truck guy.
You get your foot hovered over the brake pedal there, like
can't do it. Okay, this is fun, but it's also not me learning how to drive the vehicle, like feel what that brake, feel what that throttle does. So I'm gonna turn off the things.
Yeah.
So the brake still works. Crawl control, push the button, turn it off. I'm still in 4-low. My center diff is still locked. Forward march.
Did that throttle cut?
No, that was a little bit of wheel spin actually. Okay. Wheel slip, because I think that one wheel kind of got just loose. I don't think the rock moved, it just got a little loose. Yep, there you go. See the lights flash?
Yeah, it shows you
which one was slipping.
Which one's got slippage.
Ooh, water fording.
The question comes up, can I take my hybrid through a water ford? We just did a solid 4 inches and no issues.
Oh, we got fun cross axle things here to play with. We're just staring at the cameras.
Yeah, here we are looking at the cameras. Got a cool little cross axle.
Now watching my spotter
up there giving us some directions.
Sorry, bro.
We're just kind of really seeing the different camera modes and all the different views we have underneath us. Little wheel lift out of that back corner. Get a little light.
I bet you there's wheel lift right there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it on the camera?
No.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a second lap, same course. This time we're gonna do 4-low with center diff and rear locker, lock, and stabilization bar disconnected.
All of it. Mm-hmm.
That's
crazy.
You do it. That's crazy business.
So now we're locked?
Oh, that was, there we go. We're right in there. Okay, here we go.
So is Staby bar disconnected? I can't see over on the cluster.
Where would I see that? Oh, maybe I forgot to hit that button.
Okay. So now you got center diff and rear diff locked up.
Now we're fully locked.
Mm-hmm.
Except
all available lock
front.
Yeah. I mean, I'll lock the doors too. Got us.
Now we're fully locked.
Get that window locked for me.
Oh, windows are now locked.
Now we're fully locked. So now we're going through the same stuff we went previous. This is lap 2. Through like some little cross axle stuff, built to get a tire in the air on purpose, kind of pull up and see what it does. We may not even pull a tire off. I bet right up here still got some pretty good uneven terrain.
We should drop that wheel. That droop should be way better on this side. I can kind of see that.
It's hard to say. It does feel more level than last time, but hard to say. That was a minute ago. maybe feel a tiny bit of lift back there, but if it was minimal.
I don't know.
Last time we felt like we did have some.
Yeah, I think so. I really saw it on entry though, and that's that front end, right? That's the one that really starts to flex, less on the back end.
Nothing that time.
Traction control didn't do anything.
Not a single wheel spin, just crawled its way through.
And I mean, feeling-wise, it's hard to remember that feeling, how tilted we were. Okay, so Landcruiser, we have 3 grades, right? We have the Heritage Edition, which is the low grade.
That's actually, I mean, it is a Heritage Edition of Heritage, generally speaking, but it's called the 1958.
Right.
And that represents the first Land Cruiser came to the United States market in 1958. Land Cruiser's older than that, but Land Cruiser in the United States, 1958.
Okay.
So that one is like kind of a throwback, and that is that's a lower trim level, so it's got some things that
fabric seats,
yeah, cloth seats, which many have said like, hey, that's kind of the one I want to take out and get dirty and use out on the trails. But it does lack some of the other features that the Land Cruiser normal trim level have, as well as the first edition.
Okay. We're not in that right now. Right now we're in probably the standard
Land Cruiser. Yeah, you're in the standard trim. This is a nice, all models have the rear locker, which is one of my favorite things about the new Land Cruiser, is that everyone got one. We haven't had a locker on Land Cruisers since 1999 was the last option to have a rear only.
That's right.
And that was a real low number of 100 series could have those.
Yeah, I know. I've looked for those 100 series.
They're hard to find. Yeah. And the 80 series before that could have front and rear lockers, as well as the center diff. They all have the center diff because the full-time T case. But this is the first time, so that's a big change to me, that all of them have the rear locker, which is it's a cool trim level.
Very nice. And then the 3rd grade would be
that's the first edition,
which is just going to be the first year, I imagine.
First 3 months of production, I think the number is 5,000.
Okay.
First 5,000 units. So those
And then there's no ever another first edition.
Can't have a second first edition. Yeah. That's it, right? That's them.
So there's 2 grades, and there happens to be a first edition.
Correct. Yeah, at current this year, and I think maybe we'll see some in the future to be determined. Nothing that we've been told, but I would sure hope that as they get more popular and more on the market, we start seeing other trim levels.
Well, Kurt, thank you for that little lesson in the Landcruiser.
Yeah, and I learned some things too, like it's still a new platform, so finding out all the little tips and tricks of how everything works.
In the end, my first drive of the Landcruiser, I'm a fan. I mean, yes, I'm a fan anyways, but now a modern version of a Landcruiser that can do all the things. I do like just the buttons.
The layout's cool.
Yeah, the layout is nice. Compared to poking buttons in a Trail Hunter, they're different, right? It's different than a Tacoma, different than a 4Runner. And I like this one. If I had to pick an interior, I'd pick this one.
This is your go. Okay, I like it. I'm a big fan. Easy to say I'm a Landcruiser guy, so it's easy for me to love it. I love that the Landcruiser's back in the U.S. It's cool features. It's going to be a great machine, and it's going to do great out on the trails.
It is. And it's got room to grow too.
Yeah, plenty of room to grow.
All these tires, the suspension, we could probably, maybe play with it.
As we always do, we change things.
Well, thanks for coming along. We hope you get to drive a Landcruiser very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.